Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, welcome. My name is Lexus, and for today's video I am doing something really exciting. I'm going to be taking you guys along with me to decorate my graduation cap for my ceremony. I am super excited, you guys. Oh my goodness, I cannot tell you the road to get here, okay? If you are new, make sure you are subscribed to my channel. I really do appreciate it. Please be sure to give this video a thumbs up. Check out my other uploads, and we are going to go ahead and get started. If I remember, I will insert a picture of my grad cap design I did for undergrad back in 2018, and I did it all by myself and I absolutely love it. I still have my cap. I have it like wrapped up in a box. So instead of me talking and decorating directly, what I'm gonna do is I'm actually going to put a voiceover on, just briefly sharing with you guys my entire college journey from the time I went off to college as an undergrad, as a freshman, all the way up to my journey today as a grad student getting my master's degree. So I hope you guys will enjoy this style of the video. Okay, so to start us off, let me just give you guys a little bit of my background story. I initially aspired to be a fashion designer, and my all-time dream school was to be able to go to SCAD, which is the Savannah College of Art and Design, and I wanted to attend the Savannah, Georgia location. I actually got accepted there out of all of the few schools that I applied to, but to be honest, I was not going to be able to afford it because I was going to use financial aid. I did really well in high school, and even though I started high school in my hometown of Kentucky, I left Kentucky and finished high school here in Florida. So I graduated as an honors student with a 3.8 GPA, but my ACT and SAT scores were not the best, so I unfortunately was not offered any full ride scholarships or any scholarships at all. And I really didn't apply myself to try and apply for any scholarships online or anything like that, which is one of my regrets, if anything. But anyways, so what happened was that wasn't going to work out going to SCAD, and the other schools I applied for were also private universities in Florida, and I was going to attend for like a textile program somewhere, I think like in Miami or something, as close as a degree as possible to fashion because that's all I wanted to study. So my last minute backup plan ended up being I started out going to Bethune-Cookman, which is in Daytona Beach, and that is an HBCU. I personally felt like that was just not my journey and that was not where I was meant to be. So by the time I got to midterms, my first semester at Bethune-Cookman, I did my research online and decided I was going to apply to Valencia College, move back home, and do their Direct Connect program, which allows you to obtain your associate's degree for the first 2 years, and then after that you can transfer to any university in the state of Florida, automatic acceptance. So my plan was to go to UCF because UCF is a really good school, and I'd heard so many great things about it and heard there's a lot of great programs they have, but it's just a really large campus. We're one of the largest schools in the nation. So over 60,000 students were there by the time I started at UCF, so I can't imagine what the current population is now. But that's what happened to me. So after my first semester at Bethune, I left, and I was actually glad because I had a roommate that was kind of like wild, but to everyone else she came off like this like really goody perfect girl, straight A student. But anyways, I guess, you know, that just college brings out a lot in people, and that was one of my experiences with her. Plus she was also like party crazy, boy crazy, and you know, everything else. So moving right along. So aside from all this, I was also in my long distance relationship with my boyfriend, who is now my husband today, and it was quite the journey for us. So in the midst of like being lost, being discouraged because I didn't get to go to my dream school for fashion, I started changing up like my career path options and trying to be more open-minded if I couldn't break into the fashion industry. So at some point at Valencia, I tried to speak with an advisor about changing my degree because I started getting into these core classes that I just could not pass, which was my accounting classes, and it was just a fail. And I'm going to be honest with you guys and tell you that I pretty much flunked out, and I tried to retake it, and I got so stressed out I dropped the class during the semester. So moving right along, what ended up happening was I met the perfect academic advisor, and then she advised me to just get my general studies, which would be still be an AA degree, and complete all my core classes needed for a bachelor's degree. And then after that, I would transfer to UCF in the spring of 2017, and I would go for a degree in human communications, just to keep it more generalized so I can still explore my options if I still wanted to pursue fashion or pursue a different career path at that time. Now, fast forwarding even more, summer of 2016, I just started getting like money crazy, and I was already working my part-time job at a call center, but I was really trying to find more ways for me to make money. So I started working my overnight shift at the call center job, which was 11 to 7 a.m. Monday through Friday, and that meant I didn't have to meet the weekend requirement at the job anymore because I was already working an overnight shift. So between that, I was also doing 4 classes for the semester and my long distance relationship, so I just had way too much going on, and my body was starting to tell me that, and I just couldn't keep up. So long story short, you guys know, I ended up getting really sick. I went to the doctor, and then I found out that I had lupus. So that bomb got dropped on me. By this time in my life, I was 20 years old and going in to my junior year of college, and I was finishing up my last semester at Valencia when all this took place. So I missed my graduation ceremony for my associate's degree, which I was fine with, no big deal, looking back on it now. And then I took time over break to try and get healthier, get better, so I could recover and somewhat be ready for UCF. I'm going to tell you guys, my journey at UCF was the best thing to happen to me, and I don't regret one bit changing schools to go there, because I met amazing professors, I met amazing students that I'm still keeping connected with as of today. And if anyone watches this video and they end up going to UCF, and if you have to take any communication classes, I 100% recommend you take your classes with Michelle Dussault, aka Dr. Dussault, because she really made my experience at UCF as an undergrad student. And I cannot tell you all how much great impact she had on my life. She was very inspiring, very strong-minded. She truly believes in the education and future of students, and she does not sugarcoat anything, you guys. Like, it honestly felt like it was meant to be, because having her for majority of my communication classes there felt like I was having my mom on campus with me. Like, she literally felt like another version of my mom. And it was just so easy going to talk with her during office hours if I needed help with something or just wanted a bit of like advice on something related to school. She was so helpful and encouraging, and she was very welcoming. Like, I never forget how nervous I was my first week of classes at UCF and my first semester there. And I remember my plan was to go and talk to all of my professors at the end of class to let them know about my condition. And I remember talking with Ms. Dussault, and she wasn't judgmental or harsh or anything at all. She was very welcoming and understanding, and just assured me that I would get through my journey and to enjoy my journey as a student at UCF. And just reminded me basically that, even though I've been dealt the circumstances I had at the time, I was still going to come out successful as long as I put in the work. And I did just that. it was a great experience overall, and like I said, I have no regrets of my journey with UCF. So fast forward to 2017, and I'm now in my junior year. And then, as you all know as well, I was hit with being diagnosed with stage 3 lupus nephritis towards the end of my spring semester. And I will be honest, it was a difficult time. And I was like, geez, what next? I just felt like I kept getting hit with one thing after another during this journey. And I was like, I had just turned 21, and I'm like, I'm going through more stuff in my 20s than I ever even imagined possible, you guys. Like, I didn't know how I was going to make it through all of this and still continue to go in my journey of school. But I pushed through, and I didn't quit. I didn't give up. And I also just thank my family again, especially like my parents and my mom, especially, for just really pushing me. Because if I didn't do that, like, who knows where I would be right now in my life. And, education to each its own, but to be a person of color and have the opportunities with education that I've had, I'm truly grateful. And even though this world still has so much work to do for people of color and for minorities, I'm just thankful for where we are today as opposed to where we were years and years ago. But anywho, back to the story. So, let's see. So everything at some point started to kind of slow down and go pretty well, I would say, in my journey. Now looking back on it, like, I wish I would have been well enough to try and participate in extracurricular activities on campus, because I did not. I just felt too sick and didn't feel like up to it a lot of the times to try and go out for anything. But I definitely would have tried to join like some clubs or organizations on campus. I mean, UCF offers hundreds of options. It may be overwhelming for a lot of students, but if you know what you like, you can easily find something, because there's something for everyone, I truly feel, at UCF. And I'm not paid or sponsored to say anything about them, but just based off of my experience, I love the amounts of opportunities they have for their students. Like, in my opinion, I don't see them as like a money machine, or just taking your money and not getting any benefits with your education or anything. Like, they truly do offer for something for everyone, and I really, really love that. But anywho, so at some point, I really started to get into the makeup thing, and I really felt inspired by it. So that became my new focus, thanks to Jaclyn Hill. I watched a lot of Jaclyn Hill videos by my junior year of college, and even in high school as well, but really, really focused in on watching a lot of her content in college. So yeah, thank you to you, Jaclyn Hill, if you ever see my video, which I doubt it, but I would truly love to meet her one day, you guys. If I'm ever lucky to cross paths with her in Tampa, that would truly be a blessing. Like, I would cry my eyes out if I met her. But anyways, so that became like my new focus. I slowly pushed fashion to the side, and I realized I wanted to get into the beauty industry. I wanted to see what the hype was about, and I really did enjoy my experience. Like, I started out freelancing part-time for a beauty brand that was carried at Ulta, and I was pretty excited about the journey, but it ended up just not being for me personally, because I literally had to try and sell product to someone that, it's kind of hard if you don't have a lot of experience with the brand. And at the same time, I was trying to study the brand, study all these other brands in the market, and see, what makes this brand so much better than this brand, and vice versa. So at some point I steered away from that. I at some point even tried to get into the bridal industry, because at some point I kept going back to fashion thinking, oh, like I could maybe be one of the next assistants on Say Yes to the Dress one day. And in all honesty, like, you guys, I applied for their internship program twice during my undergraduate years, and I got accepted both times to go to New York City and be an intern for Say Yes to the Dress. Looking back on it, I wish I really would have taken those opportunities, because I kept worrying about reasons why I couldn't go. Like, I was worrying about the money, I was worrying about being in debt to go. And let me just tell you guys, you only get this one life, this one opportunity to live your best life. Live your best life, you know what I mean? Like, don't worry about the debt or this, that, and the other, because if you're doing something you love and you truly grow and make a success from it, it will be successful enough to where you pay back all your debts, you know, and it won't matter how much debt you were in, because it's paid off. So, you know, if you're really passionate about it, your hard work will pay off in the long run. So that is definitely another regret I have in life, not taking the opportunity to do the internship, because who knows where it could have led. And it may not have led to anything in the long run, but just to have that on my resume as experience for other opportunities in the fashion industry, I think would have really, really been great for me. And I've always wanted to go to New York City. I still desire to go, even though circumstances are a lot different now thanks to COVID, but one day I still desire to really get there, just to experience it. And I would love to go to Kleinfeld, even though I'm already married. I might want to buy a dress there anyway, you know, and just frame it in my future house. I don't know. But anyways, so let's see what else. In general, I really did want to try to get some internships under my belt. Like, I tried so hard for Disney internships. Those are really hard and competitive to get into, and if they don't see any experience in your background that matches with it, like, you will not get in. You can have references, great resume, cover letter, documents, like it will not get you in. It's really, really hard. So I commend anyone that does actually get into the internship programs, because I cannot tell you all how many times I applied for different ones, and I always got turned down. Now, something else you all don't know, but I actually applied for the Disney College program during my first semester of college when I was still at Bethune-Cookman, because I thought that was going to be my ticket to get out of going to school there. And I actually got accepted. I was going to be attending the Disney College program for merchandising, and I was going to use that journey as a way to get my foot in the door towards the fashion industry, because then my idea was to actually be a costume designer for the Walt Disney Company. And I think that still would have been such a fun, exciting job for me if I was able to get to that point. But, you know, I think God had other plans, life had other plans for me. And I mean, I still wish I could have experienced it for the opportunity and to have that under my belt as well. But it's just something that I didn't follow through with. And I mean, it is what it is. And I think in the end, it's okay. But that's also why I say, you know, if you have the opportunities for these experiences, please take them. Don't like dwell on it. Don't be hesitant. Don't come up with excuses why you shouldn't. You know, think of all the reasons why you should and just do it. Alrighty, you guys. So we are making progress with this cap. As you all can see, I don't want to call myself a perfectionist or anything like that, but I really take pride when I'm doing art and just working on something that I'm really excited about working on. So this was very exciting for me and very therapeutic, I must say. This was like my little reward for making it to the finish line of this master's program. And this semester alone, my lord, let me tell y'all what I have gone through while being in this grad program, okay? And I'm talking about outside of school. So I really enjoyed it, honestly. You know, I mentioned, well, I don't know if I mentioned earlier in the video, but, you know, I really love art. I always have, and I've always loved being creative and hands-on with things. So this tapping back into my artistic side for my grad cap really inspired me all over again to think like, oh, you know, I should get back into painting now while I have some free time since I'm out of school. So, you know, stay tuned. You all might see some artwork from me over the summer or something. Maybe. Anywho. So moving on, we get to like my senior year of college. It's my last year as an undergrad, and it actually went really well. I remember I was a little bit nervous about how well I was going to do, and I really wanted to try and finish with a really high GPA because all of the semesters of school I had where I was really sick impacted my attendance, which impacted some of my assignments for classes, and I was not that I fell behind, but you know, some classes I didn't do as well in due to circumstances, so it impacted my GPA just a little. And I remember sitting with an academic advisor at UCF, and I remember her telling me during my senior year of undergrad that I probably would not be able to even graduate with a 3.0. Now, my GPA was not that low, and I was determined. So, I mean, YouTube don't mark me or anything, but I kicked my ass my senior year. In all honesty, I did. And I was taking about 4 to 5 classes all of my senior year, all of 2018, because I wanted to finish by 2018. Now, I had fallen a little bit behind due to my health and everything and not staying on track. So, like, if I hadn't finished in 2018, I would have been done in the spring of 2019 with undergrad. So I was determined. I was like, I'm not staying on this journey any longer because I've been through enough, and I've already come so far. So yeah, my last semester of undergrad, which was fall of 2018, I had to take 5 classes and work my 2 part-time jobs at the time, because this was also during the time when I had started working at Sephora, and then I was also working another part-time job, which I believe was, it was still my call center job. I still had that job. So yeah, I had a lot on my plate. And on top of that, by this time I was already wifey. Okay, I was made wifey material. And yeah, because my husband and I got married in December of 2017. So yeah, all of that was going on. And then we were also planning vacation and going on our first like real little vacation or whatever. We went on a cruise with my parents that year, and we went in December of 2018. So it was like the perfect little like anniversary celebration / graduation gift to myself, and it was a lot going on. But nevertheless, I persevered, I pushed through, and guess what? Not only did your girl graduate on time, but I graduated on the dean's list. Boom. Drop the mic. And it's like, take that, academic advisor, because she sat there and told me I wouldn't even be able to graduate in the fall of 2018 unless I really took on the load. And she also said it was not even possible for me to make at least 3.0. And I ended up on the dean's list. So, boom. Okay? And another piece of advice I can just give to anyone that's going into college or currently in college: don't let someone else tell you what you cannot do. And don't let someone else tell you what you are not capable of. Nobody knows what you are capable of but you yourself. And, you know, it's hard and easier said than done to hear that and to listen to that and say it. But the more you practice what you preach and believe it, you will really see your true potential. And it's so true. It's 100% true. So I finished in December 2018, and after that I was kind of like, okay, what's next for me? And I just went through this period where I felt really lost on my journey. I was like, I had all the momentum and excitement of being in school, and I was excited to graduate and get done. But I just felt like at some point in my life, I really felt like something was missing, and I just couldn't figure out what it was. Okay, so I am going to keep going here, and then we're going to be wrapping up soon. But basically, during the time where I just started feeling like something was missing from my life, at the same time, I had also been broken the news that my family was going to be relocating to another state because of my dad's job. And it was just a shock to all of us, I feel, because he'd been here in Florida for years with this job. So it was such a major change, and it seemed like it just happened very quickly, like pretty much in the spring, like before spring of 2019, they were gone. So it was really hard for me for a long time. And then I just focused on working. And by this time, 2019, I went in with a new job. And I had left my job prior to 2019 with Sephora. Going into 2019, I left my job with Sephora. I tried to start picking up my YouTube again. And then I started my first real full-time job that was actually a work from home for a financial services company. And I was just so excited about making this much money as my first job right out of college. But it was nothing to do with what I wanted to do for a living. And the job became more stressful than helpful, in my opinion. And I just really struggled with it. And I was like, Lord, how can I get out of this job or grow somewhere else in the company where I don't have to deal with as stressful situations on the phone? And then the next thing I know, we are going over to help my parents with some things, with packing up and everything. And on the way to their home, this was here in Florida before they relocated. On the way to their home, my husband and I got stopped at a red light, and I looked and saw a billboard for UCF advertising they were bringing a new master's degree program that would have an entrepreneurship track. And it's like the light bulb went off in my head. I looked at my husband. I said, oh my gosh, that's it. And he was like, what are you talking about? I was like, that is what is missing from my life. I was like, that is my answer. I need to go back to school and get a master's degree that focuses in entrepreneurship so that I can learn more skills and more behind the scenes on what it really takes to be an entrepreneur. And I just need to have my own business and work for myself. So I went to my parents' house, told them about it. They were all for it, and they suggested that I apply. My husband was also on board and told me to go for it and apply. And I applied for the program, and it was months, and I didn't hear anything. I was really nervous about it, and I thought I didn't get in. So the next thing I knew, I was getting an email saying that I had been selected to be admitted into the program for the fall of 2019. And you guys, it's like everything aligned and just fell completely into place for me at that point. So they told me the schedule for the classes. It was a set schedule for the entire program, so I could not change it. There would not be any changes unless something came up emergency-wise. And I informed my job that I was working from home for, and they did not support my schedule that I would have for classes. So they told me the only other option would be to not go back to school or to quit my position with the company. And I made the decision to take a leap of faith, and I left my job with them to pursue grad school. So you guys pretty much know briefly, but by the end of grad school, by the end of my first semester of grad school, I needed a major surgery. That was such a shock and unexpected for me. And it wasn't even anything lupus related, which is still mind-blowing to me that this even happened to me. But I was going in having some imaging done for lupus related symptoms, and the imaging results showed me needing this surgery that I had done. So I had the surgery done. I faced major complications from it, and you guys know I was back in the hospital on Christmas Eve, and I didn't get out of the hospital until the 7th of January of last year, which was 2020, the nightmare year for us all, right? So it's 2020. I've recovered from the surgery. Next thing I know, I'm going to the doctor the first week of March, finding out that I'm pregnant, and I thought it was a complete joke. It was not a joke. And then you guys know I was pregnant, and then boom, we're in the pandemic. Literally. So I'm pregnant, I'm going through this pandemic. The show must go on, so our school did not stop. We just completely went remote. And then the next thing I know, I'm having a baby during my fall semester of grad school last year, which was mind-blowing. So I pushed through that, and then I'm still going through grad school and postpartum and trying to breastfeed, trying to use a breast pump, I should say. And it was a lot, mentally, physically, emotionally. I have not seen my family. I'm really irritable. I really miss them. My husband and I were probably bumping heads sometimes too, because at some point we were just getting on each other's nerves from being on lockdown and staying at home looking at each other every day when we're not, doing stuff with Kaya and taking care of the baby. So it was just a lot. And fast forward to this year, this is my last semester, thank God. And by the time you guys see this video, my last day of class will be this Saturday, and I'm super excited. And so, along the way, unexpectedly, Kaya needed some surgery. Thank God she's fine and healthy, going to be healthy for the rest of her life, and in great hands. And all of this happened just a couple months ago, or just a month ago or so now. And aside from that, my little part-time job that I had, or whatever, ended up letting me go pretty much 2 days before her surgery was scheduled. So, they didn't know my worth, my value, and they overworked me for what they paid me. So, it is what it is. But, where does my journey go from here? And I just wanted to let you guys know, I found another job. I'm starting in a few weeks. It's a work from home, and it's within the fashion industry. Well, it's going to get my foot in the door within the fashion industry. Shall I choose to still pursue that? But I also want to pursue something in beauty. So I don't want to give too many details away, but just know I'm in the works of something great for all women of color. And it will be coming one day very soon, I promise. No doubt about it. And that is pretty much my journey and where I am today. I'm going to be really diving in more to work more on my book, because I think I told you guys a few videos ago on my YouTube channel now that I've been writing a book, and it is my absolute goal to publish my book publicly and have that available for sale by the end of this year. My real goal is to have it published by the fall. There's Kaya. Yes, my real goal is to have it published by this fall. So stay tuned for that, fall 21. And I don't know. That's all I know for right now. I'm just going with the flow of life. I'm glad to be. Yes. I'm excited to be done with school now, sit back and breathe, and I feel completed, pretty much. I'll feel more complete when I get really diving into my business venture journey, and I'll be excited to take you guys along the ride for that as well. Yeah. But that is pretty much it, you guys. I'm finishing up the last bit of touches and details here on my cap. And I really love how it turned out, you guys. I love it so much. I love it just as much as my undergrad cap design. And the glitter detailing that I added really made everything stand out on this and just pop. And makes it look even more pretty. So I'm just excited, you guys. My graduation is a week from tomorrow, and I cannot wait. I still haven't done my grad photos. Such a last minute thing, I know, but it will be done soon in due time. and I'm actually going to try to go take them tomorrow. I'm going to try to go take them tomorrow, so we shall see. Hopefully hubby and I can coordinate that. But you guys, this is the final product of my cap, so thank you all so much for listening and hearing my journey, and I just wish all of the graduates best of luck going forward, and just enjoy life and enjoy your journeys. I love you all. Sorry guys, had a little baby interruption. But in all seriousness, I just want to say thank you all so much for watching this video, staying with me to the end of the video, because I know it's a bit long. I love you guys so much. I hope you guys subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye.